Kyle's probably smart and conserved his energy for the walk-off line.
So I could have used a little extra energy for tree farm.
Yeah.
But
Caleb's legs stopped working.
they gave out.
Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Yes, I know that.
Welcome back to episode 47 of the Loggerhead Golf Podcast. An exciting week. Masters Week's finally here.
Yep.
Yeah. Last week of the year.
So really excited for that. We do something pretty cool after the Masters. We have our Monday after the Masters sale, and this year we've changed it up a little bit. We've got Two Brothers Cuisine food truck coming out. Mankind Brewing is going to be providing some beverados, and then a new one, some axes and allies. So we're going to have some axe throwing in the parking lot, so it'll be pretty cool. In a controlled environment.
You got to love that.
Name something more American.
So,
So when you come in the bay and you don't hit it 300, you can go throw an axe to get your anger
just take
out,
your anger out. Left.
Yeah. So we will have a couple competitions. So we'll have our closest to the pin. We'll have our long drive as well as the sales throughout the store. So be looking for that. And then also in our Discord this week, we've got some Masters talk going in there. So if you guys haven't already, hop on Discord and take a look. So interesting weekend with PGA Tour. Came down to the wire again. We've had 3 really good weeks of golf leading into Augusta.
Were we watching it?
We were watching it in the truck. That was my favorite part.
Allegedly.
We were getting trying to screw it up for us.
So we're getting a play-by-play.
Two guys were playing a completely different golf course than the field.
Yeah. They lapped them.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously Akshay ended up winning in a playoff. And then and how he got into a playoff was a guy just chased him down.
Yeah.
Denny McCarthy.
Birdied basically every hole in the back 9.
Every hole but one.
Yep.
Yep, that's insane.
And then Akshay throws his shoulder out.
Doing a fist
Celebrating.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
ain't built like they used to be.
Just like, I mean, I've said it all the time, we live in the Matrix, but we were sitting there watching it, and when he made the putt, I looked at Caleb, I go, why do lefties fist pumps always just look weird? And come to find out we're watching the playoff, and they're like, he needs a trainer. I was like, what does he need a trainer for? They're like, he threw out his shoulder fist pump, and I was like, man, clearly he doesn't hang out with the Jersey Shore crew.
Yeah.
Well,
Or maybe he does. That's a hell of a fist pump,
Yeah, for sure.
But obviously he played great, and good win for him. Punched his ticket to the Masters, right?
I was going to say.
First time?
Yeah.
How that shoulder's going to do now.
It's fine.
If there's a week out of the year you need to make it work,
This one, yeah.
it's this week.
I bet.
Yeah, so he's actually the first player to play Augusta that was also a drive, chip, and putt athlete.
Yeah.
So he's the first one, so he's making history with that this week. Kind of shows you the growth of drive, chip, and putt and where it's leading.
So he's a Masters rookie, but he's not an Augusta rookie.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Does that change
Yeah,
his
they're right.
odds?
No.
I don't
That fist
think
pump through his odds.
The reason why I asked that is there is a, every year you always throw all the Masters rookies out. They don't have a chance to win because it's only happened 3 times. The inaugural year of the Masters, 1934. The second year of the Masters, 1935, was Gene Sarazen, and then 1979 was Fuzzy Zoeller. Now, ironically enough, the last time a Masters rookie won the Masters, Fuzzy Zoeller, it was also an eclipse year.
You know what?
And there was a solar eclipse the week of the Masters. So does a rookie have a chance this year? Could we see history repeat itself?
Well, there's some good rookies this year.
There are some good ones.
Well, technically, isn't the inaugural year everybody's a rookie?
Yeah.
Correct. That's what I say. Realistically, only one rookie has ever won because the first 2 don't really count. Yeah. That was the whole point.
Might have been the biggest stretch we've had on the podcast. Yeah, the eclipse, it lined up, so this and that.
I mean, if you believe in astrology and all that nonsense, right?
It's like,
If you got
Nonsense,
if
man.
you got
Come
stuff
on.
you're using for like your matrix for picking winners, maybe you throw a couple dollars to a rookie this year for some long odds.
Yeah.
Who are our rookies this year?
I mean, one that might be a good pick is Wyndham Clark.
That's what I was going to say, too.
is Aidberg, or however you say his
Ludwig.
name? Yeah, is he a rookie?
He sure is.
Yeah, so that'd be if his driver head stays on, that'd be a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Rookies in the field this year. Ludwig Aberg, Akshay Bhatia, obviously Wyndham Clark, Eric Cole, Nick Dunlap,
Miscut.
Jake Knapp, Denny McCarthy, Grayson Murray, Adam Shank. I skipped over the amateurs, but that's pretty notable.
They ain't got a chance.
They ain't got no chance.
Peter Malnati. So there's some pretty good names in that list of amateurs. I mean, I think Wyndham Clark stands out as.
I mean, he is the standout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't know he was a rookie, he's probably on everybody's top 10.
He doesn't feel like a Masters rookie.
I'm sure he's played it a
realistically.
few times, being a major champion within the last year.
Oh, he's played the golf course. Yes, but he
you get
hasn't
certain
played.
invites. Actually,
He hasn't played the Masters.
I think no, because I remember it now. He's told it in press conferences. He says he was never going to step foot on it because he's gotten invited many times. He's never going to step a foot on Augusta until he
Until he
qualifies.
earns his way there.
Yeah, qualifies for the tournament.
Good
So,
on him.
Well, I think he'll be watching it from the couch this weekend, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, before we kind of dive deep into that kind of stuff, we played a little bit of golf towards the Augusta area.
Yes, we did.
This weekend or last
And
weekend.
then and themes of Augusta is known as a tough walk.
I tell
We
you,
also had a tough walk
Yes, dear God.
on Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll start with Saturday. We played a really cool Donald Ross Camden Country Club. The longest, 6,500?
well, that was a little bit skewed though.
Yeah.
So Caleb can explain this probably better than anybody.
It's like Zach Galifianakis with all the numbers floating around.
It's on the scorecard. It was right. It's just shy of 6,600 yards. However, it's got 5 par 3s and 3 par 5s. So you've got 1 extra par 3 and 1 less par 5. Difference of probably on average about 300 yards there. So really it plays more like 6,800 to 6,900 yards. So it played longer than its yardage said, but it was a really fun layout.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Very much, kind of reminded you of Pinehurst a little bit, like a little number 4-ish maybe.
No, I said Camden to me felt more like Mid Pines and Southern
Oh, that's
Pines.
right. That's right. It was.
Yeah, 'cause it's a
that
little-
Was,
it's
that
a-
was more like number 4.
the holes are a little closer together.
Yeah,
They're a little
and-
narrower.
Particularly like little bumps and swells
Yep.
in the greens and like the movement in the greens felt much more like those courses.
Say Camden might have cracked my top 5. I think it's easily in my top 5 favorite courses I've
Yeah.
played.
I mean, I said walking off, it might be my
Because,
favorite.
Well, I mean, we
guess
liked it
I've
so
played.
much, we played an emergency 9.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Well,
a
we
fun
needed that
golf course
E9.
because every single hole you have an opportunity to make a great score and an opportunity to make a really bad
Yeah.
score, and that's a good sign of a well designed golf hole. Right, just because you know you're going to make par or better doesn't make it a good golf hole.
Yeah, well, and I felt like there were plenty of options to play each hole too.
For sure.
You weren't pigeonholed into only one way to be able to play it.
No.
You know. So
And what I love about old school style golf course, and you think of the top golf courses in the country that have been around for a long time, they always have a really short par 4, a short par 3, and then a couple really long par 4s,
and maybe a long par 3.
and then maybe a long par 3.
Yeah.
And I just think it gives you great variety because how many times you step up on a golf course where you hit the same iron on all par 3s?
With modern golf courses,
Well,
it
with
feels like
modern,
more and more often. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so when you go to an old, and like we talked about this, everyone thinks because we're the most technologically advanced age, like we're the best. And it's like, well, the golf course design kind of like debunks that, right? It's like these guys designed this way long ago and they got it right. Obviously, it's been renovated since. But I mean, my favorite stretch by far was kind of that area of the golf course on the front 9 where you had the hard dogleg right par 4 that was 330 up the hill. That green was unbelievable. And then you have the long par 3 up the hill.
Yeah.
Then you have the short hard dogleg right par 5, and then you come around to a
Short par 4. Short par 3.
a postage stamp style.
Yeah.
And that green was diabolical.
Yeah.
Right. That's as good as for me, like when I think of fun golf courses, that's what
So that was a good stretch. I thought the stretch on the backside, kind of in that low area at the back 9.
Near
Yeah,
the
it was
horse
very
strap.
similar to the front
Yeah,
nine.
it
Front
was a
nine
good
lower.
stretch as well too because
By
you
the
had
railroad.
once you cross railway tracks or before you cross railway tracks, you had the par 5, then you had that long par 4, kind of a mid-length par 4, and then like a longer par 3 was a
What was
good
that par?
stretch there.
That par 4. I think we all had. Like Daryl bombed a drive there, and how far did you have in? It was that one that Caleb was kind of by the railroad on the left. I was on the right
I
side
pulled
of
it
the
left
fairway.
off the tee.
Is that the one I smoked it down the right side?
No, left side.
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember.
then you went long left on the second shot. But I think we all collectively had over 225 to
I mean, I had
230 into that green.
Driver 9-wood.
I had.
Well,
I
I
had.
smoked a tree on the left side and had to hit a hooded hook running 2-iron.
Yeah, I hit a terrible drive, wiped it, and I had 250, and I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it was a good track. What I like too is if you didn't know it was there, you'd never find it.
No.
Nope.
Like the golf course is
And it
kind
was
of
right off the main road there in that Camden area too. So
Yeah. Then obviously that led into we played the tree farm yesterday or Sunday, and it all feels like I'm still fatigued.
Kind of running together.
it was a
Where I
great
would
golf
say-
course,
and
but a
I-
hard walk.
And I would say the tree farm, and I don't mean this negatively, is identical to Pinehurst number 4.
Yeah.
it feels very similar to it. And I mean
Honestly,
that in the best
you
way
could put.
possible.
I mean that, yeah, because I love Pinehurst number 4. I could probably you could take away all the signage and just like put those golf courses next to each other. You would think it's a 36-hole facility.
Yeah, the only real main difference between number 4 and Tree Farm is really the lake on number 4 and that stretch of holes around
There's
it.
no water on the tree farm.
Yeah. That was scenery, visual wise, maybe
There
the
might
only
be a
difference.
lake next to the
There were
par
a
five
couple of
eventually.
detention ponds, but I say collectively a really good golf course.
Yeah. I mean, it was I just still can't get over how
I felt like
brute of a walk.
I say I
that
felt
is.
like I hiked 4 of the top of the 5 highest mountains in the world.
Yeah,
I
it's
played
up and
it.
down, up and down. I think the severity of the slopes there on the greens were, what was the par 3 that on the backside 16
That was 15.
or 15? And we both see here who it was. I hit a good shot on the right hand side of the green.
I did not hit a good shot.
Me and you hit solid
Actually,
shots
false.
there.
I hit
Yeah.
solid.
Just
I just missed the slope by like 20 yards.
you hit it into a different county.
Yeah, we hit it into the slope. It takes the slope all the way down. Pins cut far left side of the green. Had no chance keeping it on the green. That was the only hole that I thought was a little unfair.
I don't know though. At the same time, like I knew I was hitting the wrong club. I was just too stupid to go back and take the right one. Because mine just landed too deep into the green. That's why I didn't stop.
Maybe. I just think the severity of that slope on the right side, I don't, and how hard the greens are because how new the golf course is.
Par 3s kind of let me down on that golf course. They didn't really do it for me. And the reason why I'm saying that is on that hole. I mean, I think that hole is going to be a fun course for people to play because you just bump it up the right side and let gravity do its thing. But they had a short par 3, which was 17. You can't see the green. I'm like, I don't like hitting a 140-yard shot where you can't see the bottom of the flagstick. It's kind of weird. No, especially not playing there. As a member, I'm going to get used to it, obviously, because I'll know what the green is. And
I was like, to me, it's just we've played the golf course once, right? Now, now you know what you got to do in that hole.
Yeah, but I think there's just the par 3s didn't really have that the glamour that some of the par 4s, par 5s did with the topography.
Well, how about
and things
starting
like
on
that.
a par 3? That was a new one for me.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was a good hole though.
That
It was a
that
really
was
good
the
hole.
best
Yeah.
par 3 out
About
there.
didn't play the rest of the golf course.
I do
Stoned
think
it to 3 feet.
think that was the best par 3 out there.
Yeah.
I think with the background of it too, walking
Yeah,
up the hill leading
for sure.
into that. I mean, the visual as like of every hole out there for the most part, like that was what was cool for me is the appreciation they had for the land. Like they made use of the land, and then they left a lot of areas natural. They left a lot of. I mean, they didn't tear everything down just to tear it down.
Right.
Like every tree that was removed or every spot that was kind of tore up was done intentionally. And a year from now, the golf course is going to look completely different because
It's gonna be a completely
at the end of the
different
day, we were one of the first groups to ever get to play it. Aside from the founding members.
It's got preview play,
yeah.
So, we had an 1140. So I think there was only like 4 or 5 people in front of us, 4 or 5 groups, excuse me. So, I mean, we were really one of the first 10, 15 groups to ever get to play this place.
Yeah, I mean
that's
it's
pretty special.
It was an awesome experience. I can't get over when you're walking the golf holes and how much land there is, I'm like, how did they decide to like use this hole here? Like, it had to be the toughest decision in the world.
So that property had a lot of movement to the land, and I even kind of mentioned as we were playing it. That golf course is what you would consider a return to the golden age of golf course architecture. It's a very minimalist design, and that doesn't mean that it's minimalist and that they didn't do any work on the golf course, right?
Yeah.
It just means it's minimalist in that they didn't bring in a ton of dirt from outside and change the slopes and change undulation. They left a lot of the natural slopes and bumps and changes in topography of the golf course and left a lot of the natural or native areas, natural and native, has that kind of rustic look. It was awesome. What was your favorite hole in the golf course?
One.
Number one.
Because about hole.
goes without saying.
What was the 11? No, it was 12. The par 5? That dog leg right?
12, you're thinking about 13. 12 was an almost 500-yard par 4 up the hill.
That one was tough. But 13 was
13 was a really cool hole, yeah.
That was
13
such a good hole.
Yeah.
Big, huge dog leg right. But you can't cut the dog leg. You got to hit it straight out. Unless you're Kyle.
I think was 16's the par 5.
16 was also par 5.
I would say
punch bowl green.
I would say 16's probably my favorite from the fairway in.
Yeah,
it's probably my favorite.
It was a really neat,
favorite hole out there.
Very cool green complex.
And then I would say, I think pretty much, and then other than that, the hard dogleg right, or the long par 5 with the entire valley down the right side, essentially.
That's 13.
Yeah. I think 13's probably my favorite hole.
Yeah.
So I like the was it a hole number 3 and 8 that shared the same tee box, or 3 and 7?
It was number 8.
That was a
and
good little
then,
short par 4 there.
Number
Down the hill.
5.
Yeah, so that's probably like, not that I had a favorite hole, that was my probably favorite part of the golf course.
Yeah.
Is because standing on that tee box and you just look over to the right and you see everything, all the slope, the little shack that they're going to have. I guess that's going to be a bar.
Pretty much the whole property lays beneath you there.
So I mean, I think that was probably my favorite part. And then the railroad top.
And then obviously 18's a great finishing hole.
18 was a good hole.
You could drive the
Very
green,
risk reward.
but ish.
I say mine, I would have to pick. My favorite hole was number 11. The long par 4 down the hill that turned a little bit to the left. Just the setting of that hole, like the way it kind of laid onto the natural slope. Fairway had a ton of slope from right to left, and the hole kind of just matched that curve.
I did not like that walk from 10 green up to that 11 tee box.
It was a hike up there to it, but once you got to that tee box, I thought that was a really cool setting.
Yeah.
And then just the green setting, like where the green laid there and how it fit into the slope, it looked really, that felt like the most natural hole to me.
So I know it moves the opposite way, but that hole really reminds me of the long par 4 on number 4 at Pinehurst.
Yes.
Yeah, where it kind of looks like the fairway's downhill.
Yeah.
And runs to the right, but that green's perched up.
When you look at the golf hole, you feel like they didn't design that hole. They found that hole.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the most, like I say, most natural feeling golf hole, the way it kind of just laid into the land and in the natural setting of it. So I thought that was my favorite.
What's cool about the golf course, too, is what architect built it and designed it?
Zach Blair.
And who is Zach Blair?
He's a PGA Tour player.
So he did all this kind of, I mean, obviously there's a lot more.
He worked with, like, I think King Collins, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he had some design.
He worked with some big wigs for sure.
But at the same token, like, he kind of just did this as a side project, you know, and obviously being a full-time tour player and, you know, he has a couple kids, like, it kind of shows you, like, just because the guy's playing on tour doesn't mean he doesn't appreciate golf courses or doesn't have any, like, you know, he's not just a good golfer. I mean, the yardage book we don't have yet. I know we're probably getting one when they come in, but he hand drew the entire yardage book.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, look how many golfers now are designing golf courses. Yeah,
A lot,
Jack
yeah.
Nicklaus and Justin Thomas just designed,
Panther National.
co-designed Justin Thomas's first course, Panther National. So I think, you know, and when we talk about the best week of the year, why is this week the best week of the year? Is it the players?
It's the golf course.
It's a golf course.
Yeah.
Xander Schauffele said it best yesterday in his interview. He goes, you could take the major out of the title. This will still probably be the best golf tournament.
100%.
Bar none.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just a testament of the golf course because every year it's going to be different.
I think we talked about this a little bit too, how, like, not to go back to Camden, but you can tell the concentration is on the golf course from the little details of the flag sticks, the flags, the tee markers,
Benches.
the benches, just all the little details.
Benches.
I know, but you had a thing for those benches at that golf
Dude,
course.
man, they were nice. They were nice.
But you know what we're saying.
Yeah.
You know, some golf courses, and this is my opinion, stop putting money into the clubhouse.
No one cares.
No one cares. The golf course is the main attraction. That's where you need to spend your money. That's how you gain members.
Yeah.
If you have a good golf course, the rest of it will follow.
Yeah, exactly. Like if the golf course is fantastic, people are going to want to hang around the clubhouse.
Yep.
Just like how we wanted to play an emergency 9.
Yeah.
We played the first 18 in 3 hours and 20 minutes. We're like, holy crap, we're like 3 hours ahead of schedule. Let's go ahead and just play.
Let's play some more.
Because I'll tell you this right now, if the golf course was blah, I would have been like,
Let's hit the road.
Let's hit the road, Jack.
Go find something to eat.
By the way, 9 Point was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was your first time playing 9
That was
Point?
the first time playing 9 Point. I
Yeah.
played Wolf and all that.
Well, it's hard to play with, like, there's not many 3-player games.
Yeah.
Kyle's probably smart and conserved his energy
Yeah.
for the walk on.
So I could have used a little extra energy for Tree Farm.
Yeah.
But
Caleb's legs stopped working.
they gave out.
Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs.
So looking into Masters Week, what are some of our talking points for Masters Week?
Tiger.
Tiger. Do we think he plays 72 holes of golf?
No.
Oh, man, I want him to, but I don't think it's going to happen for him. You know, he's been an idol of mine. But, yeah.
Can't say it on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it.
I mean, I hope he plays well.
He will play well.
I think so too. Unfortunately, I feel like it might be a repeat of last year where he makes the cut and then ends up
withdraws.
having to withdraw because he can't walk for 4 days.
The reason why, and I know we're kind of sounding like we're all beating the same
And that's
drum
no knock
here.
on him because I
Beating the
couldn't
same
walk Tree
drum.
Farm for 4 days. I'm being honest.
I know, like, we're all beating the same drum here, but look at the weather for Thursday and Friday suck.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks.
I think
it's going to be
Thursday
rainy.
looks
It's going to
bad.
be windy.
Friday's
Friday's
going to clear out, I think.
It's going to have like 25-mile-per-hour winds on Friday.
Wow. Get
So,
good.
And that's just the tough thing. He had to withdraw last year because of the walk. He could barely make it up the fairway.
Yeah.
And it was obviously freezing cold last year during those first couple rounds. Now the weekend weather looks awesome. So it's like Thursday and Friday is survival of the fittest. And I think we're going
Make it to the weekend and have a
make
chance.
it to the weekend and you're going to be in the tournament. But yeah, I don't see Tiger playing 72 holes, but I'm not doubting his ability. If he does play 72 holes, it's because he actually feels good, proves us wrong. Great. I think if he makes a cut, he will always be around contention.
I was going to say, if he plays 72 holes, that means he's probably in contention.
Yeah.
If we're being totally honest. For
sure.
But,
I agree with that.
How about the Rory?
what about Rory?
He is number 2 in odds this week to win.
And has no chance at all.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'll say, given my record of betting, y'all might ought to take Rory as a pick if I don't like him.
Well, didn't you pick him this year and he won? No, he hasn't won on tour. He got his first. Actually, that's right. He had his first top 10 on the tour this year, this past week. Mm-hmm. Still lost by 9.
Again, honestly, like I hope he plays well because it's more interesting when he does.
It's a grand slam.
Yeah, but I just don't see him pulling it off this year.
Nope, it's like the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. Yeah. Can't do it.
Oh. Wow.
We're over here talking like that about us Panthers fans.
That's a pretty good analogy there, Kyle. I have to give it to you.
Well, they make it there every year, and then they choke.
Yeah. What do we feel about, and this is the question I was asking myself, is which tour do we feel like has a better chance to pick up a win here? Is it the PGA Tour or the LIV Tour?
I'd say Live.
You think LIV's got a better chance?
I'm going to say LIV, and that's only because a lot of the LIV players have been putting out, like, they've been grinding the last 3 weeks for this one tournament.
Yeah.
Even last week in Miami at the LIV event, LIV was doing marketing stuff for the players going to Augusta.
Yeah.
Like, this is the, like, LIV flat out came out and said, hey, this tournament this week, yes, we're putting on a tournament. It still means the same for the tour, but this is a warm-up for the guys for next week.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't any pressure there. Now, obviously, you have guys like Brooks Koepka that didn't play well in Miami.
I know.
But Brooks Koepka also just doesn't care because it was...
Somehow always ends up showing up for a major.
Now, Brooks Koepka has something really weird in the bag this week.
A different putter.
That kind of raises...
Some eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mallet.
Yeah.
Which,
sure.
Yeah.
let's be honest, he hasn't teed off number 1 on Thursday yet. That
True.
putter might not be in the bag when we get there.
True.
But right now it is, at least.
Yeah, but I will say, to answer your question, I think obviously the PGA Tour has the field. I mean,
Yeah, they've got the numbers in their favor.
The numbers.
And let's be honest, they got Scotty Scheffler in their favor, too.
I'm not going to compare the two because I think there's only three players from each that really have a chance.
Who are the other two on the PGA Tour?
Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, and I'm going to go, this is my dark horse, Will Zalatoris.
I mean, I think you got 2 dark horses on that one.
Wyndham Clark?
Yeah.
I don't think he even sniffed it.
Yeah,
I mean,
hey.
If I'm being honest, I just feel
He's
like
shown up in big tournaments.
I mean, he has, at least recently he has.
And again,
He's got a short history.
Looking at strokes gained, tee to green, where that's what matters at Augusta. He's on the top in the world right
I mean,
now.
he's definitely got a type of a game where you think who could win at Augusta. You would have to think
you're
Wyndham
not
Clark.
winning Augusta, missing greens, and getting up and down.
No.
It's the guy that is hitting greens and not getting in trouble off the tee that wins the Masters every year.
I say, to me, I look at...
And then sorry, LIV has John Rahm, Brooks Koepka,
Yeah.
and then Bryson DeChambeau.
I think I throw into that DJ.
Well, obviously. But I'm saying Bryson's kind of like my LIV dark horse pick because he's the best driver of the ball right now.
Yeah. And I think Joaquin Neiman plays well.
You can keep going down the list on LIV.
I can come up with 5 names easily on LIV that I feel like have a good chance.
Can on
And
the
I
PGA.
can't do that for the PGA Tours. That's why I feel like LIV has a better chance of winning this week.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna, given what we've seen in all of golf this year, I'm gonna go PGA Tour, and it's gonna possibly be somebody who's never gotten a win before.
Yeah.
So a first-time winner of any golf tournament, let alone a major.
I think we could easily have a first-time major champion this week.
Now, if you listen to Brendan Chambly, his top 5 picks are Scotty Scheffler.
Or he says no one has a chance. Might as well pack it up, go home.
Yeah. He's picking Scotty Scheffler 5 times.
You would have to put a lot of money on Scotty Scheffler to win.
To make any money back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you've got, if Rahm's mental attitude is okay, I think you've got Rahm from LIV, Brooks Cupcake, as they say. So if Koepka putts halfway decent, he'll be there, because especially if you talk about bad weather, what's he historically done with everything bad weather? He's won.
Yeah.
You know, didn't he win Carnoustie? It was like a historic rainfall for a major.
Who was that?
Wasn't it Koepka that won at Carnoustie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, Koepka, and then PGA Tour, I think if we take a look, if Xander closes on a Sunday, he's got a really good opportunity there. But it's just a matter of how he gets off to the weekend.
Talking about betting odds, I was reading an article on Golf WRX. I pulled it up here to kind of share some of it. But it's an article by Rich Hunt. And he, every year goes through, he has a set of criteria that he uses to...
He's done his own formula.
He's got these different analytics that he uses to decide, like he usually gets to between 20 and 25 or so players that have a legitimate chance of winning the Masters. You know, like he eliminates all the amateurs, all the rookies, like professional rookies. He eliminates
all the lifetime
past champions that are past their prime, stuff like that. And has some other matrices that he uses to eliminate golfers. Like essentially, he feels like Augusta is much more geared toward the longer players. So there's he has a driving distance rank that where if you're below a certain point, he eliminates you based off of that.
Did he work on this with Brooks Koepka or something?
I don't know.
You know how Brooks Koepka says he's pretty much.
But it's kind of interesting. This year, he got it down to 22 players that he feels have a chance to win the Masters. And on that list, he's got Keegan Bradley, Sam Burns, DeChambeau, Finau, Sergio Garcia, Hadwin, Hatton. Forgot about him on LIV.
No, I hadn't.
He got caught on a hot mic. We cannot say it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got Victor Hovland, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Minwoo Lee, Matsuyama, Taylor Moore, John Rahm, Patrick Reed, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, Adam Scott, Sahith Theegala, Gary Woodland, Cam Young, and Will Zalatoris as his 22 players.
Well, for him
that
to be
have a
so
chance
smart, he's
to win
got
it.
6 that don't have a chance.
There's a couple question marks in there, but
10 that has a
yeah.
chance.
Well, he narrows those 20 down to 10.
Who is
his top pick.
guess who is not on that list? Cam Smith.
Yeah, he eliminated Cam Smith just due to his recent play on the LIV Tour.
Is Dustin Johnson on there? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was on it. Okay. Yeah, DJ's on it.
I mean, here's
Yeah,
my
but
thing.
Victor
How
Hovland
can
let
you?
his short game coach go, and he's like been kind
Still,
of
Victor matches his criteria of the things.
It's tee to green.
I mean,
stuff like
he's
that,
since 2013, he's done this filtering process to determine the players most likely to win.
Here's my thing.
And he's predicted of the 2024 players that he's listed, the Masters champion has come out of that pool every year.
We can all come up with our own criteria to validate our own opinions.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting reading his article and
sure.
how his process was.
For sure.
He makes some good points as well, too.
I mean, I'll go ahead and say that Sam Burns ain't going to win the Masters.
I don't think so, but
He could.
yeah, he's in that
I mean,
20.
he's there. But
Everybody we talked about's in that list. I mean, except for Wyndham Clark, because he got eliminated because he's a rookie.
I mean, I feel like. Do you guys feel like Augusta is a hard course to learn?
I think it's a nuanced golf course. I mean, obviously, this is coming from having never played it.
Yeah.
But I think it's fairly nuanced. It's particularly just with the greens complexes and the slopes that are on them. I think it takes some experience to kind of play a tournament round of golf, hit a golf shot, and see how the ball reacts on the green.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't replace experience with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's why you ask a question like, can a rookie do it? It's like, well, I just feel like Wyndham Clark is not the same rookie as Akshay Bhatia.
Sure, and it doesn't mean that rookies can't contend. It's
Yeah.
just, historically speaking, the rookie hasn't won.
Yeah. Now,
Realistically, only it's happened once. Because
Sure.
like I say, the first two were the first 2 years of the tournament.
yeah, we got a solar eclipse this year.
Yeah.
How do you guys think Jordan Spieth's going to fare this week?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is because I watched a little bit of the golf this weekend. I really need the Golf Channel to start muting the mics when they're showing Jordan Spieth.
Come on, Michael.
I've never seen so much whining on the golf course.
I mean,
It's for me, it's unbearable.
he's a bit off of his form, I'd have to say. But if there's one place where he's going to play well at it, it would be Augusta.
I mean, yeah. I was just saying, like, I mean, you see the craziness that he ended up doing on 18, but the poor guy, like Michael has to maybe meditates after the rounds or something, but you got to clear that head somehow.
What about the change to Augusta that was made this year?
What, lengthening number 2?
Number 2, they changed the tee box location, so that actually brings the bunker. So basically, they took the tee box, moved it back, and then back left, so you're angled directly at the bunker.
Yeah.
So now they've brought the bunker in play.
So there's no 3 woods being hit off that tee anymore now? Like the
What,
players
3 wood,
have to
3
hit
wood
drive-
6 iron?
Yeah.
They might
That's
hit,
what most players were doing. They were hitting 3 wood. They're hitting the club that needed to draw.
I said they might hit 3 wood to lay up short of the
So now that
bunker
bunker,
and have to not be able to get
might be
there.
in play a little more.
Yeah, it's the picture they showed yesterday. I mean, it's in your face.
Well,
It's right
I mean,
there.
they made the change to 15, and it didn't. And if anything, it made the hole easier.
Yeah.
The tee shot on 15 easier. So, or sorry, not 15.
13.
13. Last year, it played more under par than it ever has.
Yeah.
And that's because they're hitting a full driver to a 150-yard wide fairway.
Right.
Meanwhile, before, you had to cut the corner.
Yeah. Or lay back off the tee.
Correct. I don't know. I just think either way, even though this is a lot of opinions and speculation,
Yeah.
things like that, it's the best week to do it.
Yeah. I was going to say, who do we like as our picks before we go into show and tell?
I already said mine.
What was your? Oh, yeah, you said your dark horses. Yeah, and Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
I think Tony Finau,
Ooh.
Joaquin Neiman,
He doesn't need to run on the par 3 course.
if Bryson putts well.
Just don't play the part.
Yeah, if Bryson putts well, those would be my 3.
Yeah.
Actually,
Taylor Moore if he gets through Saturday,
that's a dark horse.
because Taylor Moore's Thursday and Friday scoring averages is unbelievable. His Sunday scoring average is unbelievable. His Saturday is terrible.
It's unbelievable in the other way.
Charlie Hoffman in the field?
I
I don't think so. So we're not going to see
yeah.
a Charlie Hoffman first round lead.
Yeah, or weekend lead. Yeah.
He's always leading after
Bernhardt.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Bernhardt leading
Bernhardt.
through 15. What pickleball?
Who do you think?
I actually liked Finau as well. Finau, Johnson, and Scheffler.
So Finau's been hitting it well and putting well this year. It was his driver that was
Yeah,
getting
he
issues.
made a full change with driver, went to a new Diamana GT, and then went to the 430 head from his 425. So complete shaft overhaul and head overhaul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went back to what worked
Yep.
2 years ago.
How's that?
Here's one name we haven't talked about.
What?
Matt Fitzpatrick.
I don't think he's got a chance.
I feel like he does.
Ball flight's too low.
Course too short.
Possibly. But I think from a ball flight perspective, and that's actually was one of the things that the article I was reading, he even mentions that one of his criteria is ball
Getting
flight.
it in the air. Yeah.
And traditionally, Augusta has been a golf course favored by golfers who hit the ball high.
It'll be an interesting week.
So, you didn't ask me my picks.
Yeah.
What are your picks, Caleb?
Scotty Scheffler, can't leave him out.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
duh.
Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm. And
John Rahm is the other one,
duh.
duh. And then my dark horse, Taylor Gooch.
You're so There's an asterisk on this year's.
I mean, you gotta.
I'm gonna tell you who isn't gonna win.
Taylor Gooch. I wonder if he's gonna be watching it though. I don't know. I just think it's for years moving forward. Obviously, we got to figure out a way to get a PGA Tour or a LIV Tour top players.
It's
a way to qualify.
It's
for
coming.
the-
You
for
see the
this.
comments that
Yeah.
Rahm made after this week, how he wants LIV to go to 72 holes. Like there's changes that are going to happen. Like
'Cause, I
next
mean,
year is going to be completely different.
Gooch is one. I mean, I'm kind of making fun of him at saying these. You got to put an asterisk in any field any tournament he's not in the field because he wasn't in the field. But I mean, he has won 4 times in the last year.
Well, how about the guy that won on LIV this week? He opened the year with back-to-back wins on the European Tour or
Yeah.
the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
Won on LIV this week, and he's not in. But like his answer was great. He goes, "Augusta's the best tournament in the world." He goes, "They pick and choose what they want."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm not going to say that I deserve to be there." He goes, "It's their choice."
True. I mean, good on him.
I mean, Taylor Gooch's comments weren't that.
No, they were the exact opposite of that.
He victimized. he's playing victim.
Exactly.
I mean, so
That's why I'm kind of picking on him. But yeah,
not to go off the rails a little bit, but how about, did you guys see the story about Matt Fitzpatrick where he didn't know that he had a weight in his driver shaft for like 4 months? His driving was terrible. He played great at the end of the year last year. And then he went out to TPI and they were doing some testing and stuff. And then they put a weight in his driver and his driving has been horrendous at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And then when he went to change his grips, they found the weight. And then took it out, regripped it, and he's like, it's back. His driving's back.
Wow.
Nobody ever believed me.
they were experimenting with trying something out, and then he forgot about it for 4 months. You know what that tells you? Change your grips quicker.
Well, I mean, nobody ever believes me when I tell them that most tour players don't know anything about golf equipment,
Yeah.
and they think that that's a crazy.
Well, some
thing to
do,
say.
some don't.
Some
Well,
do,
I said
some don't.
most, not all.
Like Hideki probably knows a ton because he has 50 different shafts.
Maybe
on the
knows
range.
too much.
Maybe knows too much, but no, it's feel.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. I watched the video. What?
I mean, I had the same thing happen this weekend when I tried a new driver shaft.
Yeah.
Daryl has found his driver shaft.
Yes.
But I do think that, I mean, I watched the golf.com video of Brooks Koepka where the guy kept asking him questions like, so what do you think of the ball? He goes, nothing.
Yeah.
He goes, and he made a comment. He goes, the only thing I've ever been taught my entire life is PGA, posture, grip, and alignment. He goes, I make sure I grip the club the same every time. I make sure my posture's right, and I make sure my alignment's right. He goes, because I want my feet a little left, shoulders a little left. He goes, and then I just turn. He goes, and then if the ball cuts or draws, he goes, it's only within a few yards. He goes, and when it doesn't work, I go back and make sure the ball position's right. He goes, and they're like, so you don't think about anything back? He goes, no. He goes, I've been swinging the club the same for 20 plus years. He goes, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
And then he also made a comment. You know, it's crazy. He only practices and warms up with odd number clubs.
Same.
His pitch and wedge, his 8-iron, his 6-iron, his 4-iron. Essentially, he says he gets new clubs every year, like twice a year at the Open Championship. He goes, so technically, I probably don't need to replace half my set. He goes, we just do it just because.
I say I only
He
hit.
will never hit a 8-iron.
Yeah, same. I only hit 9, 7, and 5 on the warm up.
But you're weird.
I'm superstitious as hell. Is what it is. Yeah.
Why odds and not evens?
I don't know. I guess because I want to hit the 7-iron and it's an odd number. I mean, basically.
Sure.
That's what it ain't got to be a rhyme or reason for it. That's just, it is what it is.
Check your equipment and stop overthinking it. Moral of the story.
Ready for some show and tell?
Let's do it.
Let's show and tell.
Yeah, oh yeah. So what we got here are a set of Titleist 712 MBs that have been done with some kind of a green finish, kind of a Masters theme build.
Birdie.
Don't
need to say no more.
Par.
Yeah, because Mizuno had already launched this like a few months ago.
Par.
Wow. We were excited, but now we're not excited anymore.
Caleb's only going to say birdie for one reason only.
Why is
He's a
that?
Titleist guy.
It says Titleist.
See, I was actually going to shank these.
Really?
Yeah. There's a couple reasons, quite honestly. Number one, what are we missing? We got a set of blades here, and we're missing a 3-iron. Right? I said I only like the odd numbers, and I ain't got no 3-iron. So I'm missing part of the set. And then there's one really important reason why this is a shank that I didn't show you, as if Miles has got the last picture.
Oh,
It's
dear.
iron
Oh,
cover.
my gosh. All right, shank.
I had a little more information than y'all did.
Shank.
No azalea themed ferrules either.
Yeah,
Or pink
right.
ferrules.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like the green looks pretty cool. Like I'm kind of picking on them, but realistically, yes, I want a 3-iron and a set of irons. And
You could put members only Augusta theme iron covers. It still doesn't make iron covers
And
look good.
iron covers are always a shank. So,
Shank.
all right, next one.
Some people just want to keep the clubs nice.
But then you're going to hit it and
then lose the cover.
literally just slam the golf club through dirt and sand and grass. But yeah, you're going to put that iron cover on there. I don't know.
Was this their bag for this week?
Yeah. Between like TaylorMade's is the same way. Like the green bag in the corner, they essentially reused the same bag and barely made
And
any
then
changes.
put TaylorMade.
Callaway, same thing. I think 2 years ago they did almost verbatim the same bogey. They're recycling these designs. And what was always cool about the Masters themes is they were one-offs, and they were like kind of each year they did something a little different. So,
Yeah.
Technically, it's a one-off. They're gonna say it's a touch different.
Not bogey.
It says 24 instead of 23.
Yeah, bogey.
Par.
I actually like it.
I was going to say, I do too.
Yeah,
I mean,
like it. I give it a birdie.
But when you see the same bag every year, and
I
it
don't
doesn't
remember
change,
last year's
yeah.
bag.
Yeah, I don't remember
what I
last
had for
year's
lunch last week. I like it. I'll give it a
That's the
birdie.
point of it.
I like how it pops. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the colors. I wish Titleist would do
that's
some
one
stuff
of the
like
better
this, but they
bags
never
that Callaway
did.
has
Just
done in
Open
recent
championships.
measures.
Yeah,
That's one of the better bags Callaway has done in a while.
Yeah.
I'll give it a birdie.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that one of the mint or cheese sandwiches?
I
I'll
do
say-
like me a mint or cheese sandwich.
Is that actually at Augusta?
It don't matter. It's a flush. I love me a pimento cheese
Yeah.
sandwich.
But the reason why I'm asking is I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think at Augusta it has the red stuff in the pimento cheese.
Yeah, it does.
Or
Oh,
at,
yeah.
at Augusta, it's not the orange, kind of the orangish one. Kind
Yes, I mean that's the pimentos.
Okay.
It's not pimento cheese without them. Yeah, that must be out of the clubhouse or something. But I mean, it don't matter where it's at. Pimento cheese sandwich flush in my book.
Yeah.
More of egg
Probably
salad.
probably the best. Oh my god.
Yeah, egg salad from Augusta.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh. Nope. That's a flush.
That's a flush.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just need a sweet tea with it. We'll be good to go.
Arnold Palmer to go with it.
That would be good too.
Better yet, actually. And this
Sun
is the one thing that Augusta's missing.
Sun drop.
Sun drop. Ain't nothing better than a sun drop with a pimento cheese sandwich.
Kelly, if you ever play in it, you can put it as a special request.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Boy, wouldn't that be something? He'd have a Titleist Sundrop staff bag. For
Hell
Augusta,
yeah.
it'd be green themed and green and yellow.
Make it happen. Send it to me.
I'll say Titleist is the only company that doesn't do co-branding. So
Yeah, you know, 2 green and yellows that go together, right? Augusta and Sundrop.
Yeah.
Yep.
like
Is
it.
that
Actually,
your,
they do have matching colors. I
yeah.
mean,
There's your hear me out for the week.
yeah.
So. Well, awesome. Well, fun to speculate. Obviously,
yep.
it doesn't matter Thursday morning because we could all get blindsided by something fun. So it'll
This
be
is
fun to
not
watch.
gambling advice. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
For
I'm
legal
good.
reasons, don't listen. But no, it was fun. Fun week. Fun weekend that we got to have at Tree Farm. So, you know, thanks for Camden for having us out. And that was a great golf course. So,
Yeah, thanks for all the professionals that hosted. We really appreciate it.
so if you guys haven't already, like and subscribe and turn on the push bell notifications so you don't miss any videos like this. We'll catch you on the next one.